Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Sydney.
I'm Katie.
And this is Swipe and Bike. So there's this problem in which students around like within a 1 mile radius who live by campus, and same with faculty, they're on the go and they need to get to places always. And so I'm going to tell a story that highlights this problem of people always being late and really get in depth. So there's this class I have that you cannot be late to at all, or else your grade gets detrimentally docked. And I wake up late like this person, just sleeping away, and then all of a sudden I realize I have class and my grade, it depends on me being there. And so I live I'm 2 miles away from campus, and I usually walk every day. But if I don't get there, then I'm not going to be late to class if I would leave at a later time. So I run to class today. I take my backpack and I just run to class. And I wish there was a faster way to get to class because I can't own a bike because it's too expensive to buy a bike. And then there's also the issue where I get to campus, I stay on campus too late, and there's this issue, like I missed the last bus, it's 10 o'clock, and then you get to another issue where it's sketchy and dark outside, and you don't want to be a Western alert. No one wants to be sitting in the dark. It's not fun. So you just want to get home quick. You wish you could just swipe your bike, get on and just go. But none of us own bikes, and that's a problem.
So we decided to go out and talk to our fellow students of Western. So we first off just asked them, how do you get to class? And we found out that roughly 66% of students either walk or take the bus. And surprisingly, we found that only one person that we interviewed actually rides a bike to school. So we laid it out. I know, it's surprising. So we laid it out for them, our whole situation. If there was a way that you, with a swipe of your student ID, you could just rent a bike and get to and from campus quickly and accessibly, would this be something you'd be interested in? And we got about 75% of our respondents saying yes or maybe, which was awesome. And so as a follow-up, we asked them if it would be even more accessible for them to have them on bus stops on and outside of campus so they could easily get to class and back home. And we had even more people say yes to have it be expanded, which was awesome. And so we want to introduce to you Swipe and Bike. And this would be bike racks all around campus in front of buildings as well as bus stops on and off, where with the swipe of your student ID, you can just rent a bike for a certain amount of time, ride it wherever you need to go, and check it back in at whatever stop is closest to you.
So, as previously stated, she said that people will skateboard, take their own bikes, bus, walk, run, to campus, in campus. So we also, in the process, we wanted to look and see if Western had already tried to develop a bike program like this, and we found there was biking e-bikes. However, you do have to take an orientation, and you have to do a reservation process, and there are also only 2 available for everyone on campus. You can also rent out the bikes at the outdoor center, but you have to pay upfront for those. So we decided that Swipe and Bike would be a fast and easy way for students to get around.
So what we decided to do is just lay out a little map for you guys to be able to see where these bike racks would be. So we have them placed strategically in certain areas in front of buildings on campus where they are also close to an accessible bike path, as well as different bus stops outside of campus that are within a 1 to 2 mile range, so you could easily get to and from campus. And so if you're a student that needs a quick and accessible way to get around, all you need to do is swipe and bike. Thank you.
Strategy for that.
Yes.
I just want to say it was an overall really strong presentation. I liked how much data you guys had. That's really good. I saw 90 responses. The visual representation was also a really strong asset for it. And just out of curiosity, do you guys look into any price structures or what it would cost to bring back the bikes, or how to? Because I remember I took your survey, and one of the questions was, would you be comfortable or something related to it being incorporated in tuition?
Yeah.
And so was that something that was ever evaluated or kind of considered post-survey?
We definitely considered it, but We didn't look in depth to it.
Okay.
Yeah, if we wanted to, it would be something more so after the fact. It's going to be dispersed throughout all of tuition, the Western tuition, but the price increase would be kind of lesser to like you have your Western ID for like bus passes as well, and that's dispersed too. And I guess there's also, it becomes more eco-friendly too. You might let people want to be using the bus less, and so the relationship that we have with the bus system, they might not have to expand the bus routes as much anymore because there's bikes also placed at the bus routes, and so instead of just, if there's bikes next to bus stops, why not just take a bike and ride the bus?
That's really cool.
Yes.
I just want to say first, I thought your guys' enthusiasm with the presentation was awesome. Like, I think that you really captured the whole 12 of us in here. Also, the funny thing is, last quarter, I was on a team and we did the exact same venture. We didn't fully go through and pitch it. This was in our ideation process. And we ran into a lot of issues with, as far as like, everyone was really caught up on the financial piece of it and how it's going to be supported. And then, also, I think you mentioned that you live 2 miles from campus. So one of the problems that we ran into when we were doing this project was, is it going to be like constricted to just campus? Or what if someone wants to take that bike downtown? Like what if someone, from that point on, like where does the student ID come in? Because there is like other community members of Bellingham that want to, potentially use the same thing. So kind of right where my question comes in also.
Well,
So were we? Oh,
I was just gonna say, we were originally planning on doing it just on campus, but we looked into that, we presented that, and we got feedback that it'd probably be better if it was to campus instead of on campus, because we can't necessarily bike throughout campus because that's not allowed right now.
Yeah.
You can bike around it, but we decided that a lot of people had more trouble getting to campus from their houses, so we were gonna look into placing them by bus stops, potentially.
Yeah, and we found that in our survey, quite a few more people said they would be interested in using them if they were placed off campus, because a lot of people's issues are crap, we're late, like we gotta get to campus real quick, not necessarily around campus as much. So we definitely played around with the idea of how we would expand it to downtown and all around Bellingham, but we figured for right now I'd probably keep it within Western's radius.
Yeah.
So.
and there's also the issue, you can't start off with a whole bunch of bike routes everywhere. You're not going to be able to build it. The amount of money that goes into buying bikes and the amount of bikes to be able to, you want to start off in a smaller area and then expand. And that's kind of where we would be starting. I mean, that's a future goal, is to have it spread out all through Bellingham, because people want to be able to do that, but it's not really, money is an issue. And so if you have that idea in mind, it's something you can look forward to the future if this does end up working out and more people use it. Because it's used in Wazoo, it's used in Seattle, so I think people would really want to use it in Bellingham, but you have to start off small and then grow. And that's, I think, the big idea. In the back?
Yeah, I have two things. So my first feedback would be talking with the e-bike team about what their successes and challenges have been more, because that would have been interesting to hear. Because all I heard was there's only 2 bikes, but is this program utilized at all, or are those 2 bikes overused and they should have more of them? And then my other thing was I'm glad that you did bring up the e-bikes, because that's an important function of our campus that isn't talked about yet since it's new. But I also think I have a bike and I don't ride my bike a lot of the time because I'm it's uphill. And so I think talking about e-bikes versus normal bikes is also where you're really going to see a shift too, because then you don't even have the challenge of riding the bike, when you're just sitting on a thing and it does it for you. It's cool.
Yeah, to jump off of that, I think another, to move forward with your evidence collecting would be just seeing why people currently aren't biking. And I think part of it is as you discover people don't want to pay for bikes, or there's that kind of threat of theft, but also just hills. I went to school and I want to quit every day. It is so hard. Going up Billy Frank is insane. So yeah, I think that should be somewhere to further your research.
Yeah, so kind of what I was going to say is as bike friendly as we want to make this place, it's not. Trying to bike up if you live North Campus, there's a reason you don't bike, is because it's really hard. If I had a fixie bike my freshman year and I sent it home because it's really hard to bike up this hill. So I think that's part of the reason why kids don't bike. So I think might be able to be utilized better, like starting small, maybe South Campus, because it's not as like extreme of a hill. But if it's an e-bike, I don't know, that'd be cool.
In the back.
I'm wondering if the Sustainable Action Fund would be interested in something like this.
Yeah, they bought those ones.
Yeah, but something bigger. And have you guys looked into other companies like in Seattle that actually do the bike rentals?
We're thinking if we'd expand this project of like interviewing them and asking them about their process and like how it came to be and stuff.
And what E-level are you guys?
Well, more money, yeah.
Good job.
Great presentation. The only thing I wish you guys, you all touched a little bit more on is feasibility of this, and really take an in-depth look at what Seattle did, what other cities did, and then talk about why it's more feasible here versus the things that happened in Seattle and why they kind of are struggling. That's the only thing I want to see.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
I just want to say congratulations, you made it, you almost done, you did a great job. I was wondering, how many times did you pivot, or did you ever pivot, or did you just find an idea, you just went with it? What was your all thought
I mean,
process?
this was actually one of our first ideas.
Yeah.
We did come up with a couple other ones that
We didn't
eventually,
understand
after thinking, were pretty infeasible and hard to
It was actually the
further.
first idea that actually happened, and then we
Yeah.
did we ideated even more, and we noticed that we were always coming back to this idea,
Yeah.
and maybe it just resonated in us. But we did brainstorm for a good, I think a day or 2 days, and we sat over at the weekend and we're like, okay, we want to do the bike thing.
Cool, great thought.
Two of the projects actually at Startup Challenge last year were bike rent systems. Yeah, no? Okay. Well, so,
Bike lanes.
yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah,
Yeah,
so it was a bike block that you would use your Western card with instead of a full bike, because bikes are stolen all the time, and we don't want people to carry bike blocks around.
We danced around that whole idea for about a month. Like everything that can potentially like have to do with like the e-bike idea, the lock idea, like, so we definitely spent some time researching it too, so, like a thing.
Yeah, and Startup Challenge off campus last year, 2 of the projects were rentable bike systems. So you're onto something that people are interested in the community. Ryan was a part of one of those teams and then ended up pivoting into Flow Motion Trail Tours. So, yeah, great work. I appreciate how you did not get mired in the financials because that's not your job yet.
Yeah.
So the discover portion of what you did, I think, was really great. Some cities have done bike systems really successfully that are dispersed and have geographic hurdles and topography. So I don't think that those are things that make it impossible. But like I lived in Berlin for a lot of years, and because of the wall, that city is a total disaster to get from different, because the Berlin Wall was throughout the city, so it's like just disaster to get to from different portions of the city and around, and the neighborhoods are so distinct. So these types of bike systems work really well because you could like easily have to go to a meeting that you would have to take 10 different trains to get to. That's really only like 3 miles away. So they have a bunch of these types of systems there, and in Seattle and other cities, and so yeah, next steps for like if you look at this for picking up again at E4, essentially, you know, those types of things would be appropriate things to really dive into deeply. But I think this was a really great E1 project and well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.